Good morning, everyone. It's a rainy Tuesday morning here in good old Minnesota, and I am coming to you with some news related to Mr. Cory Wharton. So, yesterday the Ashley reported that she had an exclusive related to Cory Wharton threatening legal action against a woman that was releasing screenshots into a conversation that they allegedly had on Instagram. Now, I was the actual party that was involved, as was another party on Instagram, an Instagram fan page called Teen Mom Fans, FANZ. So it's not necessarily an exclusive for her, and I'm actually the one that got the communication along with the Instagram page, along with the woman. So here's what happened. And for the record, no one has been sued and nothing has actually happened in this case. In fact, what happened is a bunch of legal threats and intimidation by Cory and his lawyer in an effort to silence a woman who had a story to tell and to silence a reporter that wanted to put the story out and a fan page that would like to put the story out. So here is what happened. Last week, Cory and Taylor Selfridge announced that they were pregnant, and Taylor was 11 weeks pregnant with an unexpected baby. They were excited, but it wasn't planned. And during a live stream, when they announced everything, a woman named Samantha popped on and said, should I be like she was pregnant while you tried hooking up with me while you were in Buffalo, or when you sent me dick videos, or when you wanted me to come to NYC and come to your hotel room? So after all of that went down, this woman starts trying to reach out to, actually, I shouldn't say this woman. I believe that a couple YouTube channels, not me, and some other fan pages on Instagram reached out to her, and the woman attempted to actually, a source connected to her, so one of her friends told one of my YouTube friends, Leslie Bass, that if she wanted to have Samantha to provide any information for her related to Cory, that Leslie would have to pay. She said Samantha wanted money. And the woman said that Samantha had compromising videos of Cory that she could release, blah, 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 blah. Well, Leslie told her she refused. She would not pay for any information. Neither Leslie nor I pay for content for our channels. Both of us are of the opinion that if you want your story out, we're happy to have it, but we won't pay for it. So there you go. So when she wouldn't pay and when other outlets declined her offer to pay, she then provided some screenshots to the Teen Mom Fans Instagram page. Now, the screenshots I shared with you last week basically have Cory and her in a conversation where he is inviting her to New York. He says that he has booked a plane ticket, and then there are videos that he has sent to her, and you can see in the and I'm telling you that these screenshots were posted on Instagram, and they had everything. There was back and forth. The Teen Mom Fans Instagram page verified the authenticity of the screenshots, so they believe that the information that they had received from Stephanie was legit. Now, these screenshots that were shared did not contain anything scandalous. There was a couple photos of Samantha with Cory making sort of like suggestive comments, telling her that he, with the purple devil, which implies that he was worked up, if you know what I mean. He then told her that he booked his plane, but that he wanted more photos or videos from her before he would book a hotel room for her. She is actually from New York, from the Buffalo area, and she met him at a club while he was visiting Buffalo in August. It was a couple weeks later that these conversations took place on Instagram, where he then said, I'll be out there, meet up at my hotel room, let's hook up, that kind of thing. So the Instagram photos go up, and I then get a copy of those from Teen Mom Fans. It's not that I bought them or anything. That page put them up. Then I put them up because I figured my fans that follow me on Instagram might be interested in seeing these because I had been covering them. So What happens next is I get this in my inbox from Cory, which says, my attorney will be contacting you tomorrow morning. And it's a photo of the screenshot in which I shared on my Instagram. And then a woman reached out to him, and then he responded, can you report please? And she responded and lied to him. She actually commented to me and said, oh, Cory sent you. Cory actually responded to me, and she asked me how I got them, and I told her I got them from a friend. She then went to Cory and told Cory that I paid for the images, which I did not. Not a dime was ever extrapolated, because I literally took those photos from the Teen Mom Fans Instagram page. So I told him that he needs to contact Samantha because she's the one that's sending them out. And then I explained to him that she's shopping for outlets to release videos of you, and I'm not lying. She asked on YouTube to do that. So then he continues by, excuse me. And I said, I did not pay for the images. That woman is lying. The images were on an Instagram on another page. Samantha leaked them to that page. And then he sent me a letter which said, you are going to receive the same letter. And it was a cease and desist letter that he had drafted and sent electronically to Samantha. And then I responded that I had already removed the images. Then later that night, I get an email while I'm sleeping, mind you, from a attorney. I've never in my entire career ever received communication via Instagram, let me just say, from an attorney telling me about what's going on and that I might be in legal water. That's completely, in my opinion, unprofessional. Typically, an attorney that does this type of stuff would send a letter to you either through mail or email, and they would typically send it to your attorney or to someone in your likeness. I have received similar letters or like cease and desists. I've never received one via Instagram. So the attorney says, please be advised that our firm represents Mr. Cory Wharton regarding the recent harassing, unauthorized, and illegal conduct of Miss Samantha. Our office is in the process of pursuing legal claims against Miss Blah for her criminal and unlawful activity, and any republishing by you or any other third party under your direction may be subject you to liability. Please also be aware that you do not have authority to use our client's name, likeness, or image for your own commercial purposes and or gain for your website, and any such use will be vigorously pursued by legal means. For your records, please see a copy of the letter we sent to her. So he was basically insisting that they're going to pursue legal action by Samantha, and that I can't even talk about Cory, which is ridiculous. That's like a threat that they can't even force. He is a public figure. Public figures are not off limits. And when things happen that are public stories, it's the right of reporters, of the media, of commentary channels to report on this kind of stuff. It's protected under the First Amendment. So a threat like that is completely baseless, and it's a means of intimidation, okay? So then he sends me the cease and desist letter to Samantha, and I've X'd out and cleared out anything that has the information, which basically suggests that they are going to be, it says, please allow this correspondence to serve as a notice directing you to immediately cease and desist from allowing the publication of any authorized photographs and or videos content of the client. Such antisocial behavior is completely unacceptable and will not be tolerated in any way, shape, or form. Again, this letter is a demand for your harassment and intimidation must cease and desist immediately. Should you continue to pursue the activities that's in violation of the cease and desist order, we will not hesitate to pursue further legal action against you, including but not limited accident and or criminal complaints. Then they basically go on to say that she maliciously threatened to publicly disseminate intimate correspondence and photographs of Cory. They said, please be aware that doing so would be a willful violation of the law, statutes in blah, blah, blah. So basically saying that it's illegal to disseminate intimate images of someone else. And it says, and according, you have no right to distribute, advertise, offer, or sell any material using in whole or in part of the unauthorized content in addition to any of Mr. Wharton's other legal equitable rights. And then they reference some like statutes that they believe is against the law that makes it that they could file a criminal complaint. Here's the thing, you guys. That's interesting. He doesn't deny that this woman has this. He doesn't deny that these images exist or that the photos exist or that the videos exist. Instead, he says to this woman, you don't have the right to release these. And if you do release these, you're going to be violating the law. And you don't have a right to disseminate any of the conversations that you've had with him because you're violating the law. That's actually not true. I mean, the videos, I would say, if she were to release those intimate videos of him, that could definitely fall under like a revenge, PORN statute, which would be criminal. And I think that's the reason why so many outlets wanted nothing to do with it. Nobody was interested in seeing those videos because as juicy as it is, there's laws that could put the publisher in trouble. It could also get her in legal hot water. But he doesn't deny that these exist. Instead, he's angry that she's threatening to put them out. And I agree, it's like a violation of his it is a violation, but at the same time, like, it's her right to share whatever she wants that she had with Cory. It's not against the law to share screenshots, especially if it's related to a public story. And it's not against the law if she's a party to the conversation to release those screenshots. It's not. She can say she can release anything that she wants. She can release emails. She can release like conversations. If he hasn't had her sign a non-disclosure agreement or told her that she could get in trouble for releasing him, which there wasn't a communication that I saw between them related to that, then she can release whatever she wants. She's not doing this to harass him or to intimidate him. Her point in doing all of this, according to her conversations with everyone that I spoke to, was because she wanted to just share that, you know, she was worried about, like, okay, he's got a pregnant girlfriend, but like, look what he's doing. Like, he was trying to hook up with me. And she said that when she met him, she knew who he was. She knew that he was on the show. She knew everything about him. And yet he still pursued it. So the question isn't so much, now, does Cory have a case? Absolutely not. It's not against the law for people to talk about public stories. It's not against the law for a fan page to share a screenshot. It's not against the law for me or any outlet to report about what's happening. It's also not against the law for me to share that a lawyer reached out to me. It's actually more of an intimidation factor of him trying to silence a story that he doesn't want to get out there. And this kind of stuff happens all the time. And people that have power and money will do this kinds of stuff to silence the people that are in their lives that maybe want to share something to sort of like expose it and say, hey, you guys, like, this isn't okay. I think the point of the matter is for this girl is like, Taylor, hey, look, you're pregnant and this guy was trying to hook up with me. You're pregnant and he was asking to book a hotel room with me. Hey, Taylor, consider this, please. And this has sort of been like a pattern where Cory, you know, in his own admission has said that he cannot stay in a relationship. He's not able to like be faithful. I mean, he had the same issue with Cheyenne and said he couldn't be faithful to her and he wasn't in a relationship. And so, you know, it's not really, and a cease and desist, again, in my experience, doesn't happen from just one specific isolated incident. A cease and desist is typically when somebody is doing repeated things over a course of days and shows a pattern of behavior that is harassing or harmful. But it's only harassing and harmful if it's not true. And that's the thing, like, she can't be harassing him if what she's doing is sharing her truth. And it's not, if he doesn't want to find himself in these situations, he needs to be mindful of the people and the thirsty girls that he's talking to on Instagram. He needs to worry about what's going on in his house, keep his house clean, keep everything clean and tidy on his side, and not worry about things getting leaked. If you don't have anything to cover up, then there's nothing to threaten. There's no reason to threaten someone for trying to share what happened. And it's really kind of a bully move, in my opinion, to threaten not only the woman, but other outlets that are seemingly just disseminating a story in relation to something that happened publicly. He was on an Instagram Live when when Samantha made that comment. So it's clearly people were going to reach out to her. She was on publicly when she made that statement. People reached out to her that were in the media. The Ashley saw it. She reported on it. Other outlets saw it. So people knew that this was going on. So he went on Instagram Live and basically was like telling everyone that he was going to get these screenshots off and we need to respect their pregnancy. I don't think anyone's not respecting the pregnancy. It's more like when stuff like this happens and you have skeletons in your closet, people are going to walk out and be like, yo, be careful. I don't know. If I were Taylor, I would want to know, would you? Did she put out the videos? She didn't. Did he silence her? Absolutely. Did they threaten me? Yep. But I can tell you one thing. I provided them my attorney's information. I gave them my his email address. They never contacted him. So it was an empty threat. And it was also an empty threat to not talk about him or use his name for my likeness. It's completely ridiculous. So that's the tea related to Cory Wharton. This was in response to the Ashley story that she put out yesterday. And I figured since I'm the one that it happened to, I might as well tell you what happened. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. But I will check out my Instagram, please, if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet. I've been doing a series where I'm answering your questions, and I'm hoping to build that Instagram page up so that I can also have some lives there and just better interact with you guys in a more playful way than on YouTube. All right, you guys, I'll be back in a little while. Bye.